Welcome back. Today we are looking at some spooky upgrades to my fantasy action figure collection. Let's get started. So these are two of the Legionscon 2025 exclusive figures. Technically this is meant to be 4 different characters, so each box comes with the parts to make 2 different characters. They're all part of this kind of spooky thing where you like go to this crossroads and you're like challenged by 4 different characters. But to me, this is basically just a huge upgrade to my fantasy action figure collection. I don't really review Mythic Legions figures as like standalone figures. I kind of review them more as like parts packs or like upgrades to the kind of growing fantasy collection that I have. So I'm going to get these guys out and we're going to take a look at everything they come with and how I'm going to end up kitting them out, and also how I'm going to distribute all these cool parts across the other figures in my collection. So let's open these boxes. There goes a head. Oh. Twist ties, classic. Out you go. Time for hand pops. Oh my god, that one went over my shoulder. Found it. Ooh, a spooky cage. And a rat. That's delightful. So many little doodads. Nice to have another staff. Ah. All right, your turn, buddy. Ooh, this guy's chunky. I can feel it. Oh, I love these swords. Nice. More hand pops. Whoa. Ah, keep launching parts at my face. Damn, that one's really in there. Shit. All right, here they are, fresh out of the box. So like I said, I'm not gonna review these like traditionally as action figures. You know, Mythic Legions are all about really effective part reuse. So articulation will be exactly what you expect. If for some reason this is the first time you've watched a video about Mythic Legions, there's plenty out there. You know, it's a great line. I love mixing and matching parts, making my own characters. So what I'm gonna do is just show you what these guys came with. I'm gonna kit them out with the parts they came with, along with some other parts from my collection. And then we are also gonna see if any of the parts that came with these guys upgrade any of my existing figures. So both of these kind of feel like almost like greatest hits albums of their respective body types for Mythic Legions. It seems like they just packed in like every cool part from every figure that people bought multiples of just so they could have more of these parts. So just taking a quick look at the Warrior or the Revenant. If you want to stick with what they want you to build, he's one of those 2 things. So he's got some nice cloth goods. He's got really great set of knight armor. He's got the awesome like dinged up pauldrons that have the chainmail hanging down, like one of the coolest shoulder pads they've ever done. This really awesome helmet with the skeleton portrait that fits in there, and it's got the slice on it. I think that's from Sir Adalric. So you could either have his normal face in there or have the messed up helmet with the skeleton inside. Normal helmet spike in the back. I don't know if I've had this belt before, but I really like it. I know I have this loincloth piece somewhere. I think that came with Waltor. But yeah, so he is looking really great. Now let's take a look at everything he came with. So we've got this alternate face piece, which I believe is for... I don't know if it's for this helmet or for the other one. Let's see. So I can pop this off, pull off this cool skeleton face. Swap it out with this spooky face. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Look at that. Really, the painting on it is really nice. I like the kind of, it's not like eyeshadow. I guess it kind of is, but yeah, it's cool. I like the blue and the red. It looks nice. We've also got, like, by far one of the best chest pieces they've ever done. I love this scaled leather look. It's painted really, really nicely. Very cool. This is a separate piece too. You could pop this off. Swap it out with the chainmail one here. And again, you know, like they're playing the hits. The chainmail neck piece is one of the best ones. That leather piece is one of the best ones. This is definitely one of their best helmets they've ever done. Super cool looking. I'm definitely going to use this on him. And it's nice to have like a regular human face inside of here. This headpiece comes with the Xylernian guard, and inside it's either like an elf face or like a green elf face. I forgot what the difference is I forgot how the sub races of elves work in Mythos, but it's kind of two different elf species, so it's nice to have a human option without having to repaint it. We've also got this gnarly zombie head, very cool. And there is a matching neck piece if you want to go with this. So since this guy's fully armored up, you could just pop this on top. We've also got like the second best shoulder pads they've ever done. I really like these, just a nice, plain, chunky shoulder pad, pauldron. We've also got a Mythic Legions classic. Always have loved this head. And it's got the cool batwing pieces for it, which are sometimes hard to get in. Blah, gotta heat it up. But yeah. So comes with two of these, makes for a cool helmet, alternate loincloth piece with a chainmail, another greatest hit for the knights. Got just a nice, simple, more Nordic looking axe. Very cool, what is it, tower shield? It's not a kite shield or a tower shield. I'm not sure what the rounded big shield is called, but it's painted beautifully. I love the black and the gray. Looks really nice. We've also got one of their awesome, what do you call this, a claymore? Flamberge? Either way, just a very cool looking sword, painted nicely. I have a bunch of these, but this is like the first one I've gotten where it's like, okay, I don't feel like I need to repaint this. This looks perfect as is. And we got an alternate waist armor here. Very, very nice. Everything is painted really well. Oh, and we've also got two more pairs of hands. So we got the gesturing and the horizontal grips, and the alternates are here as well. And on the figure are the gripping hands with the vertical hinges. Now let's look at the Nymph or Churel, depending on what parts you use. You know, she's very cool too. Lots of great 2.0 parts. Definitely is using like a lot of the Ghost of Christmas Past figure, which is great. That's an awesome base body. And she's got some nice cloth goods here, cool belt, and nice hair, which is removable. So that leaves like a socket to plug other hair in. This is the piece that I was using a bunch of for my barbarian, because I bought 2 Ghosts of Christmas Past, so I had lots of extra hair. We also got this really cool looking alternate zombie head. I think this pops out. Yep, there we go. So kind of like a half decayed head a little bit here, and this hair, which will also go on this head. That doesn't look right. Hold on. Oh, that's actually not compatible. Okay, so we got 2 different hair systems here. We got the head that takes that has a socket, and then we got the hair with a socket. So we got 2 different styles of head too, which makes sense. I think we're talking about parts from 2 different, like totally different figures at this point. Still, lots and lots of options. Let's put that back on you for now, set you over here, and let's take a look at your other parts. So we've also got this awesome, gnarly, I think this is like a female orc head is what it looks like. Very, very cool. Love the little tusks. Nice. I'm not sure if this is a new part or not. I don't have as much experience with the 2.0 bodies on Mythic Legions, which are the more slender ones that have an upper torso cut. Oh, she's also got these cool floating bangles on here, which is nice because that means you've actually got bare female arms and legs to work with. I think these might come from one of their like Egyptian god figures. Also got this cool little cage. I've seen stuff inside of this, so I'm guessing, yep, there we go. So this pops open, so you can put stuff in there. We've got a little rat friend. He can join his friends on these dungeon displays. Just a little comparison, bit bigger. This actually was with the warrior / Revanant. Very cool looking sword. I like the use of horns here for the handle and the crossguard. I don't even know what to call this type of sword, but it's very cool looking. And back to our lady friend here, we got this nice staff, and the head is removable, and it has some alternate options. So we got more of like a crystal, like sorcerer type deal. And we've also got kind of a more chunky, more of like a chunky druid type staff. But, oh, that's a ball peg. Can like, ha, that's pretty cool. So you could put like a skull on here, or, I mean, any 1.0 Mythic Legions head will go in here. That's super cool. I didn't know this was in here. I like this a lot. Gonna have some fun with that. And we got this head too. I think this might be a Cosmic Legions head, although, no, it's got pointy ears. Maybe it's an elf head, but very cool. Great color scheme. Obviously matches the body. We also got some delicate fairy wings here. So these can plug into the, where like shoulder pads go. Little pouch, some bottles, some bits and bobs. There's a little clip on here, so you can put this on a belt. Same with this little bird skull. Also this very wicked looking like weapon here. It's almost like a saw, or I don't know, but it's very cool. Fashioned from like a tree branch. Very nice. Also this little bundle of bones can be clipped onto a belt as well. So just showing the left ones, but we got alternate gripping hands on vertical hinges, and we got a gesturing hand, or yeah, actually this is two different kind of magic gesturing hands. And of course there's gripping hands on the figure. Oh, and she also has this cool magic effect. So you can like wrap this around an arm or a staff, casting some kind of cool necromancer spell. And a nice wired soft goods cloak. Not the strongest wire, doesn't really hold much weight, unfortunately. It at least allows you to add some nice like natural ripples, but yeah, you aren't gonna be like, have this like flowing in the wind or anything. But it's got a nice hood too, so this will look very cool on like a spooky caster type character. So yeah, really, really great figures. Good value for everything that you get and the price. You know, a little bit more than your average Mythic Legions figure, and you had to get lucky, at least for me. I haven't been to Legionscon before. I happened to grab these on Big Bad Toy Store when they put them up. But like retail versions of these figures with a few less of the parts, like I think the main thing that's missing is these green heads with both of them. But yeah, so they're like simplified versions of these figures will be in like an in-stock sale that's going up in April, I believe. So you did not totally miss out on these figures if you haven't gotten them yet. Anyway, I'm gonna heat these figures up so they're easier to pop and swap, and then I'm going to do kind of my first round of kitting them out using the parts they came with and some parts from my collection to see what I come up with. And then I'm gonna grab some other figures to see who else gets some new stuff. So my general plan for our lady friend here is, you know, she's definitely got kind of a undead or like dark queen kind of look going on here. So what I want to do is make her sort of a lady friend counterpart to my necromancer here, and they can lead my undead horde together. So let's kit her out as if she is a necromancer as well. Okay, pretty happy with this. Actually didn't end up changing too much. So I went with the lady orc head. I think that's a cool look. You don't see like an undead orc necromancer that often. What I ended up doing with this cool staff head that you can put a head on is I grabbed, this is like the handle for like a mace. That came with like the Armory Knights, and I think that I love that it could plug into this without any modification needed. So she's got kind of more of like a wand, but this also seems like it could definitely be like a blunt instrument when necessary too. So I like the idea that maybe this is like some kind of necromancer enchanted head that still has some flesh on it. I think that's very cool. And then in her other hand, I gave her a bone weapon. I believe this came with the Jersey Devil figure. Oh, I also gave her a shoulder pad to make her a little bit more battle ready. Added a belt to show how it attaches. And this cape that I added is actually designed for a berserk figure. So the hole that I put the shoulder pad peg through is actually meant for like Guts's sword to stick out. So it worked out really well for that. And yeah, I think she looks great. Set her down. Let's see how she looks next to her partner in crime. Yeah, I mean, come on, look at that. How's that for like an evil power couple? Let's get this. Get her in a cooler pose here. Put this down. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, look at that evil power couple. They're gonna look great leading my skeleton horde, so we will get them in there at the end of the video. Now let's move on to this guy. So my goal with this guy is really just to make the most like beat up Dark Souls-esque knight that I can. It was actually funny looking at all my knights in my display. Like, I don't really have anyone else who's got this kind of worn look to them. They're all very clean and shiny. So this is kind of an exciting opportunity to make like a really travel-worn knight who's been through a lot of battles. So I don't think I'm actually going to be modifying the figure that much. I just want to try and find maybe some cloth goods or something else to give him a little bit of splash of color. I've got this thing here, which, like, you know, I might be able to make him look kind of like the Dark Souls 2 armor or something. But yeah, that is my goal. Let's make a Dark Souls guy. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm just not feeling very creative today or just less is more, because I I didn't change him that much, but what I did add, I think adds a lot. So this sword here is from the Gravity Garden Hunter of Dragonfire, my figure of the year last year. I turned him into something completely different, so he didn't need this sword, and I think it fits this guy perfectly. Like, he's big enough for it to be like a reasonably sized one-handed or sometimes two-handed sword, and the sheath fits nicely into the usual Mythic Legions belt. This was the belt that has like 2 loops hanging from it. I cut one of them off so that I could give this a bit more clearance to hang down like a normal sheath. So I'm just going to hit that with a little bit of brown paint. And otherwise, most of the changes of this guy look really good from behind. So I used some of that gray cloth goods to give him kind of a fur collar that is implied to be attached to this cloak. Or I guess this is more of a cape, because he can't really like pull it around himself, no hood or anything. This is a Forge Knight cape designed for the Lady Maria Figma. And at one point they were clearanced out, so I bought a few of them because you can never have enough brown tattered capes. I know it's kind of boring, but I really like how this guy looks. Like, I don't have any just like really basic knights. All of my knights are really kind of ornate looking. I'm cool with this. What do you guys think? Did I undercook? Did I overcook? Is that even a thing? Anyway, let's see if I can upgrade some of my other figures with parts that came with these guys. All right, so these are 5 figures that I think might benefit from the parts that came with these sets. So first I've got this skeleton guy here. So he's got the Sir Adalric helmet with a little plume on there. And kind of the idea, like, he's just kind of got a bunch of random tattered cloth goods and other armor pieces from other figures. Like, he's very, you know, he's the fodder bin figure. You just kind of put stuff together. And I think some of these other parts might match his color scheme better, like these shoulder pads. This version of this helmet looks a lot like more, you know, battle worn than this one here. So I think that is going to be a pretty easy swap. Let's try it out. Yeah, that's much better. He's feeling a little bit less like a fodder bin figure, a little bit more intentional. His chest piece and gauntlets are still a little shiny, but you know, competent skeleton warriors probably always scavenging new gear, so yeah, I think this works out. I haven't really thought about his weapons in a while, but I still think that these are pretty cool. Yeah, this guy's all set. So next I've got, this was my first Dark Sorceress character that I made. So this is a Ghost of Christmas Past. It's got the 4 arms and combined with parts from Thrace Wraithcaller. And I do really like this figure as is. Ooh, sorry, miss, your spell is drooping. You're embarrassing me on camera. You know what? Get out of here. I do like this figure a lot as is, but there's some knickknacks floating around here that might upgrade her, so let's see what we can do. Okay, ended up not doing too much, super minor upgrade, but these little pouches and bird skull I think add a lot of interest to this figure. It was kind of plain before as far as equipment and other doodads go, so, you know, super simple change, but I almost cut this part out, but I haven't gotten the chance to actually show off this figure on this channel before, and I'm really proud of it, so consider that an excuse to do that. Yeah, she's cool. Next, we've got our Lady Assassin from a previous cloth goods review. The only thing I want to try is, I just really like this head, so I want to see how it looks under the mask and the hood. So let's try that out. That looks pretty cool. Let's just try out the mask now. Ooh, yeah. Okay, that is an improvement. I know, like, she kind of had like the medieval female like Sith Lord thing going on before, but I really like this. This is more like a dark elf or a vampire. I like that you can see her pointed ear inside the hood there. Yeah, I like this a lot. This feels like an upgrade. I could be convinced that the other head looks better, but I like this a lot, at least right now. I may change it later. And I think I also want to maybe try painting the hair. I think that will kind of help it stand out under the hood. Yeah, this looks good. I think this figure has a bit more character now. Seems like there might be a little bit more of a personality under this outfit. Very, very nice. Now with our rat adventurer, the main thing I wanted to change was his waist armor. I thought it was a little bit too, like, this is from the Urzok figure, and I always felt like it was a little too evil looking for him. I kind of want him to be more of like a wandering adventurer type. So I think this this nice plain armor that came with the warrior, I think this will be perfect for him. Let's try it out. Yeah, there we go. That is way better. I always felt like his like lower area was just like a bit too busy. This is just so much cleaner, you know, shows off the pants a bit. Got his weapons hanging there. Yeah, this is much better. Oh, I also grabbed one of those shoulder pads I just reclaimed from the skeleton. I like it. It's a little shinier, so it kind of like is more obvious when it's peeking out from under the cloak. Yeah, rat adventurer. Looking good. And finally, we have our spell sword. So I grabbed this guy at first because I wanted to use this chest piece, but actually looking at it with him, the browns don't quite match. You know what I do want to do is I really want this guy to be like the Gandalf like sword and staff wielder. So I'm going to make use of the staff that came with this set and put something cool together. Let's do that now. So in keeping with his, his two weapons with like the blue jewels on them, like maybe they're enchanted or something like that, I gave him the staff from this set, which has the blue jewel on top. So let's put this in his hand, see how he looks wielding a staff and a sword together. Yeah, now we're talking. This looks pretty cool. It's a little, I don't know, primitive looking, considering the rest of him is so ornate, or at least like well crafted. Actually, you know what? I think it might be time for a staff swap. There we go. This feels like an upgrade for both of them. So he's got the kind of more, like this looks very wizardly, and also like there's some of the, and some of the golds match bits on his outfit. So yeah, this guy's looking great now. I'm really happy with this guy. I haven't picked up any of the Mythic Legions wizards yet. I might finally grab one when they do an in-stock sale soon, but in the meantime, I'm happy to have a spell sword type character with a staff. He's looking good. Shit. I gotta stop putting two figures on screen at once. But yeah, now she also, I think this feels like an upgrade for her too. This feels a lot more like creepy witch in the woods as far as her staff goes. I'm glad I gave her a little bit more of an upgrade. The little trinkets kind of felt like a cop out there. Actually, since I didn't use this for the wizard, I'm going to give it to one of my oldest Legion figures. This was my first real effort to kit bash something cool and unique. He's kind of a bulkier elven ranger type character. I think he's going to actually benefit greatly from this. Let's do that now. Nice. I think this is the most figures I've upgraded in a single video yet. So this is the part of the hobby that makes me the happiest, when I've just got crap everywhere. I'm like pulling parts out, I'm clipping things, I'm putting stuff together. It all just kind of culminates in it's just fun, man. Just putting all these figures together and that's what I love about lines like Mythic Legions or Savage Crucible. Every new figure is not just a new figure. It's a whole bunch of fun stuff to play around with and upgrade figures you already have. I think this is why I've gravitated so much more to fantasy figures these days, because each figure is just such a great canvas to just do fun character design stuff. And there's nothing like doing that with your hands. It's just super fun. I mean, come on, look at that lineup. This is why I love getting new Mythic Legions figures, because not only do I get a cool new figure that I can kit out however I want, but I usually end up distributing their parts elsewhere in the collection. And then I get out figures I haven't seen in a while, and I start giving them new parts, and that gives me new ideas, and sometimes I might even completely make a whole new character. Yeah, this has just really reinvigorated the hobby for me. It has kind of turned what was just kind of putting stuff into the case into more of a hands-on crafty hobby, and I never thought I would find one of those that I really like, and I'm so glad that I did. Anyway, let's put these guys into their displays. All right, let's wrap up by visiting our friends in their displays. So our rat warrior has been moved to the Eastern mythology display. And we got our cool undead queen and her lieutenant with the undead horde. Very cool. All right, one case over. And all the way down at the bottom here, we've got a few more of our figures. So we got our sorceress. I did give Urzok his waist armor back. And we got our evil assassin here. And we got two of our guys in the adventurer party here. Here's our wizard and our ranger. Looking good. And then we got our awesome beat up knight sticking out with all the more regal looking knights here. Well, that was super fun. Putting these two videos together took a while, and I have built up a bit of a backlog. So the next few videos are probably just going to be some more simple, focused reviews as I catch up on things like Figma Skull Knight. We got a new V-Toys. We got a Tonya Tigress here, some other cool stuff. And then with those done, I'll see if I can catch up on a few customs that I want to do before I ship my Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot and have so many more figures to look at. And that's it. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.